behalf of the Vedanta Society of Toronto, we have great pleasure in welcoming Dr. Narendra N. Bakshi as our guest speaker this morning. Dr. Narendra Bakshi, PhD DSc, was a professor of chemical engineering at the University of Saskatchewan from 1963 to 1996. And he is a professor emeritus of the chemical engineering department since 1996 at the university. He took initiation from Swami Bhashyanandaji in 1972. In addition to research work in renewable energy, he is greatly interested in the application of the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedanta in our day-to-day life. The topic for his today's lecture is Swami Vivekananda on the Bhagavad Gita. Dr. Bakshi.
Thank you for that introduction. Actually, the topic is prescription for success, and of course, through the Gita. I have been interested in Gita for quite a long time, and I still have not understood the whole thing. Every new shloka which I read later on gives me new meaning. From my point of view, Bhagavad Gita is a mine of helpful thoughts, ideas, and guidelines on the art and science of life. It shows us the way to live a life with vigor and vitality, a fulfilled life. Along with such a life, it also shows us the path of inward contemplation in order to achieve the summum bonum of life, which is self-realization. In the words of Adi Shankaracharya, two things which complete the life. One is abhyuday, complete well-being, a fulfilled, joyous, happy life, not hurting the society, not hurting yourself, but progress and prosperity, and then shreyas, which is the realization of the self. I just want to quote Mahatma Gandhi on Gita, because he was a great karma yogi. His whole life was full of action. He says, when disappointment stares me in the face and all alone, I see not one way of light, I go back to the Bhagavad Gita. I find a verse here and a verse there, and I immediately begin to smile in the midst of overwhelming tragedies. And my life has been full of external tragedies. And if they have left no visible, no indelible scar on me, I owe it all to the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. So the question that arises, well, what way Bhagavad Gita helps us in success? So, when we say success, the very first question, at least from my point of view, arises is, what do I mean by success? I think we've got to be a little precise before we can do something about it. So all of us are greatly interested in achieving success in life. All of education, training, efforts have this one goal: how to succeed in life, how to achieve that goal. What does it exactly mean? Is it making lots of money, or name, fame, variety of achievements and accomplishments, or having property, power, position? I went to the dictionary as well, didn't help me very much. So having a few of them, or all of them, in achieving such goals, does it matter how we achieve these goals? What such means proper to achieve a goal? Or did we hurt somebody? Or stepped on other people's toes? Were our means fair or foul? Or it does not matter at all? So the point here is, what do you mean by success? I went through our literature and I found another definition for success. And I think that appeals to me. And this definition of success is from the Vishnu Sahasranam. After the Vishnu Sahasranam is a dialogue between Bhishma and Yudhishthira in Mahabharata, and it's given over there. It simply means 1008 names of Vishnu. So in the concluding verses, it says, Yasha prapnoti vipulam, jnanati pradhanyam evcha, achalam shriyam apnoti, shreya prapnoti anutam. First he says, well, when you read these 1008 names of Vishnu, they should be read with a concentrated mind on the Vishnu. That's the basis, that is the qualification. If one does that, so this particular shloka which I read, it means that man, that individual, man means person, that person attains to great fame, leadership among his peers, wealth that is secure, and the supreme good unsurpassed by anything, which means self-realization. Nabhyam kavachit apnoti, viryam tejash cha vindati, bhavati arogya yutiman bal rup gun anvitam. This individual will be free from all fears. He or she will be endowed with great courage and energy, and he will be free from diseases, beauty of form, strength of body and mind, and virtuous character will be natural to him. Imam sattam adhiyana shraddha bhakti samanvita yajjait atma sukh shanti shri triti smriti kirti. One who reads this hymn every day with devotion and attention. In addition to all that, attains peace of mind, patience, prosperity, mental stability, memory, and good reputation. I like this definition of success. Similar words are given to us in Ramayana as well. Tulsidas says, in one more small verse, this verse comes in the 7th chapter of Uttarkand, 15th Doha. Sur durlabh sukh kari jagamahi, antakala raghupati purajai. This is again a dialogue, and Kagbhushan is telling Garuda that those who listen again attentively and with devotion to this Ram Katha, they will experience this happiness, joy, contentment, this sukha, which is far better than those of the demigods. And we say that the God, actually, at least according to Hindu tradition, we say the gods live in heaven, in Swarga. He says it's much better than, far superior to that particular individual will experience in this world, and ultimately, after that, will go to the abode of Sri Ram, self-realization. I like this definition a lot better than the previous one. At least they're all the things which I'm sure each one of us wants. So, how do you achieve it? What are the qualities, characteristics required in our personality to achieve all that? Well, we all know that in order to achieve anything, effort is made. Higher the goal, greater the effort. And when we say effort, we mean you have to work at it, or perform such actions as will lead us to the desired result, in this case, achieving success. In other words, the action is the underlying thing. How do you? And now I'm going to digress a little bit. Let's not worry about success. We'll come back to that. I'm going to focus on action. When you say action, how do you do that? What is the morphology of performing an action? What is the simple mechanism? Before any action takes place, the mind examines its various scenarios and alternatives which arise in the mind. Finally, a decision is taken, and when that decision is taken, there is another faculty of the mind which kicks in. And that faculty is called intelligence, and we call it intelligence or buddhi. Buddhi then decides based upon its quality, what type of buddhi we have. The given alternative is selected, and then of course the action takes place. This has been proven, as a matter of fact, by the MRI studies. People did this study for the shoppers. People go out shopping. And when the person is shopping, the MRI study says one part of the brain is active. Once the decision is made, there's another part of the brain that becomes active. So overall, mind and buddhi are two different things. So we are looking after the buddhi, the decision-making faculty. It follows as the quality of buddhi is awake, purity is there, it's bright, it's luminous. Our decisions will be right and highly conducive to our success. Well, what do we know? What kind of buddhi are we talking about? Again, we go to the Gita, and the 18th chapter, verses 30, 31, and 32. Sri Krishna describes three types of buddhi. The first type of buddhi is which can readily judge things that are to be done and things that are to be avoided. Clarity is present. It correctly discerns what ought to be done. Out of all those things, what ought to be done and what ought not to be done. What is right, what is wrong, but that alone is not enough. Such a buddhi has will, and the Sanskrit word for that will is dhriti. It has the will, the fortitude to do the right thing, right action. In addition, such a buddhi also is pure. What do we mean by pure buddhi? Pure buddhi simply is which is free from the characteristics of lust, greed, anger, eagerness, jealousy, malice, attachment, etc. And this is why this buddhi is called steady intelligence, a steady buddhi. The Sanskrit word for that is samatvam. So this is the first type of buddhi, and this is what we are looking at. We should be aiming for this type of buddhi. The second one is the intermediate type. And such a buddhi wrongly understands what is right conduct and what is wrong conduct. In other words, the clarity is not there. And again, also what ought to be done and what ought not to be done is completely misunderstood. In addition, such a buddhi does have passion and activity. In other words, just as a person in the feverish mind, you'll keep on doing things, but the clarity is not there. You don't know what's the right thing, what is the wrong thing. And also, eagerness is there, attachment is there. I am doing this. I'm doing this thing for this. The attachment, whatever you're doing, is there. The third type of buddhi is completely out of the window. Such a buddhi seems wrong as right, reversing every value involved in darkness or ignorance, and therefore sees all things in a perverted way. And we have seen people behaving that particular way. Such a buddhi is ever contrary to righteousness. Such a buddhi is considered full of darkness, ignorance, dullness, and is lethargic. There is no activity. Type 1, type 2, and type 3, the Sanskrit words are, type 1 is called the sattvic buddhi, type 2 is called the rajasic buddhi, type 3 is called the tamasic. Thus the most desirable type of buddhi knows what will be attained by performing a particular action, what will be the consequences of such actions. If you go back in this, you'll find that there's another power, another characteristics involved in this. And that characteristic or the power is the power of discrimination. Because this buddhi is able to discriminate between what is right, what is wrong. In addition to that, it has that, what you call, will and fortitude to pursue them. This power of discrimination, we'll call it, I'm sure all of us know, is called Viveka in Sanskrit. Now, just think, in order to have the power of discrimination, automatically another corollary follows it. We cannot have this Viveka without this corollary as well. It comes automatically. And this corollary is, with the Viveka, that our intellect should be objective. It should be unbiased. It should be unattached. Because if we have that bias and objective, and if it's not objective, then we cannot make the right decision. In all of this is, from scientific point of view, that is a very major thing to have. On the other hand, we may not have it, but that is at least what we say as a scientist. I should be unbiased and as unattached and completely objective. So anyway, this second corollary which you're talking about, where you unbiased, no attachment, and objective, is called Vairagya. So Vivek and Vairagya is a part and participle of the Sattvic Buddhi. We cannot have Sattvic Buddhi without Vivek and Vairagya. Power of discrimination as well as the no attachment, etc. So now we see the type Buddhi is the one which we are aiming for. The other very powerful, from the way I look at it, another very powerful situation also arises with this Sattvic Buddhi. Mother Nature, or if you want to call the Brahman, the God, comes from help without asking. Our scriptures tell us, Sattva Shuddhi, Kriya Siddhi. A person who has achieved this Sattva Buddhi, for him or her, Kriya Siddhi, achievement, fulfillment in action comes automatically. See the difference? It's hard to believe, but it is true. No doubt at all. Not only this, so we have achieved success, we have achieved whatever we are looking for, fulfillment, but in addition to that, this Sattvic Buddhi also takes us to the Samam Vanam of life, to the Shreyas, self-realization. So, when we look at this, we find, what did Swami Vivekananda say? My true nature is divine. If we develop this Sattvic Buddhi, we automatically achieve. Thakur used to say, I didn't believe in that, but slowly and gradually, as we move on this path, you can see the glimpses of that. He used to say, there is no difference between the pure Sattvic Buddhi and Brahman. There's no difference. Because once you achieve that, all the curtains are lifted and you experience. Because there's no ego. And when there's no ego, you are Brahman. I am Brahman. So the process of achieving or attaining this Sattvic Buddhi is thus very, very important. We talk about it, but how do you get there? Not only it guides us through our day-to-day life. Wherever we are, doesn't really matter. We have to start wherever we are. So in our day-to-day life, we need this power of discrimination, Vivek, and Vairagya, non-attachment. Because if we don't have it, we cannot take the correct decisions. In order to do that, we've got to develop that. But so not only this Sattvic Buddhi helps us in our day-to-day life, and no matter what my profession is, no matter who I am, because actions have to take place, as we said a little earlier, and how do you perform the right action? So this is the key. Now I'm going to let you on a secret. This process of achieving the Sattvic Buddhi is the fifth yoga is called Buddhi Yoga. If we have looked into the Gita, you'll find Bhagavad describes that. But somehow there he, as if he has winked and said, well, find it out yourself. You know, we are aware of the four Vedas, the Karma Yoga, the Dhyana Yoga, and the Jnana Yoga, and what was the fourth one? The Bhakti Yoga. But somehow then Buddhi Yoga is mentioned. As a matter of fact, the verse was read a little while ago. And this is in the second chapter, verse 39 and 40. In verse 39, it says, Esha te abhikta sankhe, buddhir yoge tap imam shunu, buddhya yukto yaya part, karma bandham prahasasi. This ideal of Sankhya Yoga, theory of knowledge. Sankhya is the theory of the Jnana Yoga, theory of knowledge, has been presented to you. Now listen to me for the practice thereof. Those of you who remember your chemistry, physics, sciences, theory is first and then you do the experiment. How do you do this experiment? He says, I'll tell you how to do it. How? Comes next verse. Na iha abhikram nasho asti. Pratyaho ya navidyate salpam api asya dharmasya trayate mehatavya. I'll come at them, but he's telling us that this practice of Buddhi Yoga is very important. There is no loss of effort, nor is there any adverse effect. Because usually if you do any rituals, that is one of the problem is. If it is not done according to the various steps which are prescribed, it can have, and sometimes it does have, a wrong effect. Whereas in this particular place, he says, practice it. No adverse effect. Not only that, it is additive. We have gone so far, tomorrow we do a little bit more, and if we have not completed our realization this year, this life, next life will start not from ground zero, but wherever we like. Cannot have anything more than that. That's why he says, Swalapam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mehatavya. Even a little effort removes lots of our miseries. Trayate mehatavya. Because in our day-to-day life, if you can live the life properly, and that is the way, so it's removed lots of these problems. Okay, so how do you get it? And then he goes again. This time, Bhagwan, as I said, he winked and said, go and find for yourself. It took me 2 years or 3 years to find this, where else it is. And when I looked at it, it's right in front of me. This is in the 11th chapter, verses 10 and 11. Tesham sadad yuktanam bhajtam priti purvakam didami buddhi yogam tam yena mam yantate. To them, ever devout and steadfast, worshipping me with love. Worshipping me with love, steadfast, that's the only qualification. I give the Buddhi Yoga, this yoga of discrimination, by which they come to me. The word yoga is very important. All it means is, it is a process. Process to do what? To achieve self-realization, to achieve the divinity which is my nature. And so, he says, well, you make this effort. Make this effort. But then, you know, it's just like a mother. A little effort, and then the shower of love comes. So the next verse, which is again 11th chapter and 11th verse, or rather 10th chapter and 11th verse. Tesham eva anukamparsa. To them, out of pure compassion. Out of pure compassion. They don't ask me, but they have made a little effort. I provide them with His grace. Dwelling in their hearts, not from outside, dwelling in their hearts, I destroy the ignorance-born darkness by the luminous lamp of wisdom. So you see this power of Buddhi Yoga. Once we know to practice that, really, you don't have to listen to any lectures. You don't have to read anything. But What is required is devotedness and steadfastness in pursuing them. I am like Thakur's that example which he used to give. Some people have heard of milk, some people have seen about milk, they have talked about it, and some people have drunk. So if we, in the second phase, we talk about it, we discuss about it, but until and unless I don't take it, drink it, everything is useless. It serves no purpose at all. So that is what is needed. Practice, practice, in order to transform our personality. So, that is what Buddhi Yoga is. This is how to get the Buddhi Yoga, how to achieve this Buddhi Yoga. Now let's go back to our title. How to achieve success. As we pursue this Buddhi Yoga, I'll give you a few more details a little later on. As we pursue this Buddhi Yoga, what happens? The very first quality, which is extremely essential and necessary for success, is self-confidence. And this self-confidence is not an attitude of arrogance or anything like that. Deep inside, and we can feel it. Yes, I can do it. I can do it. So that self-confidence, because the closer we are getting to our divinity, so it is the divinity which is asserting its characteristics, not the little ego. It is the divinity which is asserting that characteristic. This attitude seems to be able to work with a calm mind and efficiency and steadiness of mind. And both these qualities are included in self-confidence. And Bhagavan gives us again, this is again second chapter, verse 48, Samatvam Yoga, the mind is steady. Mind is all the time kind of an equanimity of mind, as you call it. And then, in addition to that, it is always efficient. Always efficient. Because Buddhi Yoga inculcates it, brings this thing automatically. You don't have to assert, it comes automatically. And the efficiency, again, verse 50, second chapter says, Yoga Karma Samkosha. This particular process is very efficient process. So the individual, in addition to doing the work properly, efficiency is there, equanimity of mind is there. Of course, the second thing which happens is that you are not lazy. It's called karmanyata. Action. What are Vivekananda? Life of 41, 42 years. Shook the world. Adi Shankaracharya shook the world. And people like that. In such a short period of time, they achieved so much. How did they do that? Because they achieved that, if you want to call it Buddhi Yoga or divinity and so on and so on. So, and of course, the motto is Atmano Mokshartham Jagat-hitaya. For one's own spiritual liberation, which comes, plus for the good of the world. You're not hurting anyone. You're contributing to the society, to the world at large. The actions are carried out in such a way that the world or the society is not agitated or afflicted by me. Also, one does not become agitated or afflicted by outside influences as well. And that is what you call samatvam, equanimity of the mind. It sounds very big, stupendous, but perform, each one of us, as soon as we start on this particular path, you'll see these characteristics developing in the individual. You don't have to say, no, oh yes, I'm going to be doing nothing. Just do the Bhakti Yoga practice and these qualities automatically start showing up in our character. So this, obviously, this sadhana, this effort develops a viveka, power of discrimination, vairagya, power of detachment, and one's life is completely guided by these qualities. Some of the other characteristics which develop firmness of our actions, dhriti, willpower develops. Some of the other qualities which come into the picture are, for example, faith. We talk so much about faith in the Lord. Most of the time, it's a very shaky deal. We just talk about it, we say things about it. But as we pursue along these lines, slowly and gradually, the faith starts becoming unshakable. It happens. Determination, the Hindi word is himmat, it increases. Daring, courage, patience, not deterred by adversities. Shakti, power, energy, vitality, enthusiasm, valor. In other words, all these highly positive characteristics automatically develop in the individual's character. We do not have to go and sort of say, practice them. No. That's nice to be able to practice them, but the nature of this Buddhi Yoga is such that it will bring these things quality automatically. Now, it is interesting that these qualities which we are talking about, we are not in our genes. We do not inherit them from our parents. Small measure maybe, but in large measure, we have to make the effort. Even by education, that I've gone to school, university, I've got so many degrees, nothing like that. That sadhana must be performed. Only then these qualities will appear in our character. These qualities, therefore, are developed only when one lives a disciplined life of Buddhi Yoga. Only spiritual sadhana helps. And this, again, the second chapter, verse 66, tells us beautifully. Nasti buddhir ayuktasya. One does not achieve this sattvic buddhi without following a yukta life. Nasti buddhi means ayukta. If your lifestyle is ayukta, not proper, then you cannot have buddhi. And the yukta lifestyle, that is, one can spend a few hours on what actually yukta lifestyle is. Proper lifestyle, proper food, proper intakes, and so on. Just like supposing if one wants to win an Olympic gold medal, let's say, in swimming, unless we do not have a disciplined life, can we get that gold medal? Forget it. So that disciplined life needs to be developed. Now, one of the examples from the way I look at these things is the idea of who has developed these things. Hanuman's. Look at Hanuman's character. An ideal, not only a karma yogi, but a person who had developed this buddhi yoga. And of course, we can talk about Swami Vivekananda and many of the current masters, because unless that is not developed, we cannot achieve anything. So, the last verse of the Gita, 18th chapter, it says, very powerful verse actually, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Parasodhanardhara, Tatra Sharir, Vijaya Bhutir, Dhruvanitir Madhya. Wherever is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga. Wherever is Partha, the wielder of power, there are prosperity, victory, happiness and welfare, and sound policy, which means constant justice, such as my connection. What is that? Making a connection with the divine. That is your buddhi yoga. As soon as I do that, he says, that's what you're going to have. So this is the prescription of success. One of the things in our Buddha Yoga, for example, which helps tremendously. You remember it says, develop a connection with me initially, remember me, this devotion. So the thing to do is develop a relationship with your Ishtadeva, whosoever. It could be friends, it could be mother, it could be father. As Thakur said, Kali is the mother. For some, his father. For some, Arjuna's case, it was a friend. For the Gopi's case, it was a lover. So that relation needs to be developed. And as Swami Vivekananda said many times, and Thakur said many times, the easiest thing is to develop relations with a mother. Because you've seen children, father is usually kind of aloof. But in Hindi कहते हैं, माँ को उंगली पे नचाते हैं. It's very difficult to translate that. But as far as the mother is concerned, children take advantages as well. You cannot do that with another relationship. So whatever relationship, depending upon our own characteristics of the mind, develop that. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, and this, when I look at that, in my studies, in my experience, I think for some reason, this has not been brought out in a very strong way. And that is the practice of the Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra must be pronounced correctly. That is the key. Even if one doesn't understand, it doesn't really matter. Because what you're doing is, we are creating vibrations. And those vibrations will have an effect. I mean, we have seen, for example, if you go to the rock music, each one of us starts, jumping around here and there. Go to classical music, everybody is in a meditative state. Why? Vibrations are the thing. Our whole system reacts to various vibrations. Thakur said at one time, I don't know how many of you know this, that the alphabets of the Sanskrit language, I think there are 50 of them. These are another shape of my mother. So there is a power in those alphabets. And our sages had discovered these vibrations, if you want to call them. And if you pursue that, you'll see the effect. So two things are necessary. One, developing a relationship and pursuing the sadhana. Secondly, add a catalyst to that. That's my field of research. Add a catalyst of chanting the Gayatri Mantra. What you find is, you'll experience yourself. For a period of time, give it 6 months, 8 months, and you'll see the personality changes. These things. The mind automatically opens up. As I said earlier, one really doesn't have to study very many books. They do help, no doubt. And again, I've quoted this many times and I'm very fond of that. That when the school teacher Mahendranath Gupta went to see Thakur for the first time, he didn't see him, but the maid was cleaning and he asked the maid, oh, he's such a famous man now, so he must be reading lots of books. And she says, no, all the books are on his tongue. Where did all the books come on his tongue? Through that. So anyway, so those two things, if you do that, plus the Gayatri, combine that with the Gayatri Mantra, I think the progress will be very quick and very fast, and we'll see that. Now, there's a, as I said, for example, mothers or parents or friends give you some warnings as well. And we should be aware of that warning. And this comes again in 18th chapter, verses 57 and 58. And Bhagavan says, Chet sa sarva karmani mai sunyasya matpraha buddhi yogam upashtya matchitta satatam. Mentally resigning all actions to me. Chetsa Sarkar, Mai Sanyas Matra, renouncing all these things. Having me as the highest goal, Matpara, having me as the highest goal, and resorting to Buddhi Yoga. Because without that, actually, if we do not practice Buddhi Yoga, we cannot understand what Karma Yoga is. A little while, earlier, it was said that perform the Karma Yoga, don't ask for results. Why not? I do the action, therefore I want my results. Can we ever, under normal conditions, not expect results? That's the nature of the human being. So simply saying perform actions without ego or not expecting results, from my point of view, it's impossible. No matter who says it. The only way it becomes possible is when each one of us, we pursue this Buddhi Yoga, then automatically, because we approach the divinity, what happens? The divinity asserts, I don't expect any results. I don't have my ego. That's when it happens. Without the Buddhi Yoga, neither we can practice Karma Yoga, nor we can practice Jnana Yoga, nor we can practice Bhakti Yoga, nor we can practice Dhyana Yoga. None of them will ever happen until unless one does not pursue this Buddhi Yoga. Okay. Then he comes to the next verse, 58. He says, Mat chitta sarvadurgani, mat prasadat tarishyasi, atha chetam ankaram na shroshasi vikankshasi. And I think it's a very powerful word. It says, fixing your mind on me, mat chitta, fixing your mind on me, you will, by my grace, overcome all obstacles. Mat prasadat tarishyasi sarv durgani. All the problems I'll take care of. But if from egoism, at chetam ankara, if based on egoism, you will not listen to me, now shroshasi, if you will not listen to me, you will perish. He's not trying to scare us. Supposing Newton comes and says, well look, don't jump off this 10th-story building. You'll kill yourself. Is he scaring us? All he's saying is the law of gravity is there. You must understand that and then do whatever you need to do. Same thing Bhagavan is saying, well, that is the way. On the other hand, if you don't pursue that way, Prakriti will take you, just twist you down. So, after that, so in a nutshell, basically what I'm trying to say, to achieve success. The prescription for success is very simple. Perform spiritual sadhana. Always remain connected to the divine, which is Buddhi Yoga, and chant the Gayatri Mantra. And then everything will be added to us. And I'll just finish this with a couple of other quotations. The first one is from the Swami Vivekananda. He says, teach yourself, teach everyone his or her real nature, which is the Buddhi Yoga. Call upon this sleeping soul and see how it awakes as they perform the sadhana, because everything automatically keeps on coming out because the soul starts waking. Glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come when this sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity. Buddhi Yoga is the key. And the later day saint Swami Chinmayananda, for example, says very beautiful. He says, constant remembrance of the ever-smiling flute player, Krishna. In your mental depths is the secret.